other people are more privileged than you?
How was law school?
Is a lawyer's life that much different? Everybody wants to become like a top lawyer.
You are an advocate on record. For our audience, please tell us, what does an advocate on record do?
So people who come to the Supreme Court may perhaps be filing very varied kind of submissions. One case which could completely change your fortune.
How is the AOR exam for someone applying for it? What should he or she bear in mind?
मतलब अगर झाड़ू भी मार रहे हो तो कोशिश करो दुनिया का बेस्ट झाड़ू मारो.
अपना 100% दे दो. होना ना होना तो ऊपर वाले के हाथ.
It's a great question, and one thing I just want to clarify: I didn't do a single internship in law school.
You didn't do a single
I didn't
internship?
do a single internship in law school.
When it comes to bar politics,
That's the general thing about any kind of politics. It's that if you don't participate.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another very special episode of Candid with RMT. And today's guest is Mr. Utkarsh Joshi, who is an AOR at the Supreme Court of India. Hi Utkarsh, welcome to Candid with RMT.
Hi Raghu, nice seeing you, and I must commend you on your really nice setup and really nice office. So hats off and thank you for having me.
My pleasure, Utkarsh, and thank you so much for those kind words. So let's start off with the podcast, and this is a question I often ask my interviewees. Tell us about law school. How was law school?
Law school, while I was in law school, it didn't seem that cool, at least for the first 2-3 years. Some of it was hard work, if not for me, for others at least. I don't know how hard I worked. But 4th, 5th years were better. We had more time to study things at our end. And I did spend a lot of time reading, but not all my course books, but things apart from it. So yeah, I had a great time in law school.
And tell me something, you were actively involved in theatre, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that was before law school. So I'm on brought up in Bombay, and there's something called Prithvi Theatre. People involved in theatre will know of that. Prithvi Theatre is quite big in the theatre.
It is.
In India. So they used to have summer courses for children, and I'm very lucky. My parents that way, were very broad-minded. And when I was I think 7 or 8 or something like that, they made us enter into those summer workshops, which Prithvi Theatre would have for kids. And that's how I got involved in Prithvi Theatre. And when I was 15, in fact, I got offered to an offer to join a theatre troupe. And sometimes I think that if I'd done that, how different life would be, or would it? Is a lawyer's life that much different? But
there is a lot of theatrics in law, so every day in court, dealing with clients, dealing with the police, the theatrics are just there in law as well.
Yeah.
So tell me something, you are an advocate on record. For our audience, please tell us, what does an advocate on record do?
An advocate on records, the principle behind having an advocate on record is that there are a lot of filing systems in there. Like different courts have different way of drafting things. So people who come to the Supreme Court may perhaps be filing very varied kind of submissions. So to have like clear formats, clear drafting styles, and people who can, a set number of people who can assist these people coming from all over India to file it in the Supreme Court format, as well as assist the Supreme Court in decoding the crux of the matter. I think that's what the system is intended for. And,
all right.
I guess it's serving its purpose.
And how is the AOR exam for someone applying for it? What should he or she bear in mind?
My general advice to people is that study for the paper. A lot of people, when they're studying, they get so bhavna mein bhej jate hain bilkul, and they start reading a whole lot of stuff, which is by the way very good for you, but it may not come in the paper. So you got to study things where you can answer things. I think that's very good.
Right. So moving on to the personality traits and qualities required for a career in litigation. Litigation is not easy, especially in the initial years. What are those traits that you must have and you must abide by as golden rules to survive in the profession in those early years and not quit and move on to something else?
First off, Raghu, I think litigation is the key for survival in every year. We often see that we think that a senior's life must be a very busy senior. His life must be so easy. But I mean, they're busy taking conferences till 11 p.m. at night, and thereafter, they have to revise for the matter, and they wake up early in the morning to study. So, yeah, I think it's difficult in a different way when you're more senior into the profession. However, you are right that when you're just starting out, the pressures are different.
Yeah.
It's easier to opt out, and there are more attractive avenues when you're starting out in litigation. So I think one character trait that is I think crucial is perseverance, and just the plain old being a little ziddy and
thick-skinned.
Thick-skinned. I guess thick-skinned also, that I'm not sure, but you gotta just,
For lawyers and for politicians, you gotta be thick-skinned.
I think definitely for politicians.
Yeah.
Lawyers, I'm not so sure, but yeah, I guess. I haven't thought of that actually. It's something I should think about. But definitely, you should persevere, and you should just stay at it. And after that, of course, the other things come in. Like, you should enjoy, the intellectual aspect of it, reading different cases, understanding what you'll argue in court.
Yeah.
Trying to persuade someone, and the judges, like 99% of the time, the judge knows more than you. Is, in fact, in my experience, 100% of the time. But of course, there are situations where judges get transferred from different rosters, and they may not be an expert in your area of law.
Yeah.
So that there are those instances where you might have to guide the judge. But in my experience, most judges are well informed, and so there, I think, to persuade a person who already perhaps, however much you say that a judge should not have an opinion on the matter and should hear both sides, the judge is a human being, and he has a view on the facts that have happened. And how do you persuade that certain facts read with law are more important, and persuade in a manner where the practical effect at the end is, something in favor of your client. So I think that is something that that kind of, to enjoy something like that is a character temperament that you must enjoy. Of course, you can have a lie in court. So so perseverance 100%, and enjoying the intellectual side, and this part where you're engaging in an intellectual conversation and trying to not debate but more persuade and make them see things from your side, and of course ally that with the existing law, and perhaps tell the judge that, look, similar courts elsewhere have decided this, and that judge is also not living in a vacuum. The judge is also seeing judgments coming from different sides. So that those two traits, I think, are very important. Apart from that, of course, everything. As a lawyer, you should know how to manage your money. As a lawyer, you should know how to deal with people. And I think on all those counts, we all have some feeling or the other, perhaps.
And also, I would add one more point is basking in the wisdom of seniors. Whenever you go to a particular court, there are some seniors that are always there who are, approachable,
Correct.
who are available, who you can just strike a conversation with.
Absolutely.
So you should always take that to your advantage and actually, go out there and talk to them. It's not like they're going to bite you. They're always very welcoming only, and they'll want you to come and talk to them because they have also been through that journey, so they know how it is to, start from scratch.
100%. Yes, a lot of the guys there are just, they perhaps have a tougher time nowadays. Lawyers.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of, you see a lot of people appearing for law exams and all. But of course, earlier it was said law was not that good. And, many people went to courts when they were not all air conditioned.
Yeah.
And it was a different time altogether. Like we have Manupatra today, or SCC, and we can Google AI, what not to assist us in research.
That time there were only books in the library.
And yes, so just going through, just searching through those index
commentaries,
that itself, when you put it that way, I think they had it way tougher.
Tougher, yeah.
We can get our drafts checked through, like even Microsoft inherently has a grammar check and all those things. So yeah. But basking in the glow of wisdom, not only of seniors, basking in wisdom, I think generally, because you learn so much many times from your juniors who are many times much more resourceful and in many ways much more intelligent, because you like to think you're smart, but at least my juniors, I've had experience in call them juniors is a little hierarchical that way, but in many ways they are my seniors in some of the things that they do. I can't do what they do, some of them. So yeah. So perhaps we should rethink that term also.
Yeah.
I also use it candidly junior because that's how it's used in our profession. But I
Of
think a
course.
better word would be colleague or a friend or I guess an associate. So law firms have it right there.
Yeah.
So that's some things we should learn from law firms also.
That's
Not
right.
all.
That's right.
Yeah.
Moving on to the impact of background, contacts, and money in succeeding in litigation. I mean, litigation is so tough as is, but not having a godfather or some figure in your profession to guide you, to tell you about certain things, makes it even more difficult. So, what do you think is and how important or how big is the role of having good contacts, coming from a good background, or having good money to influence your way, and then making it big in litigation?
So first of all, is all this helpful? The answer is yes,
Mm.
100%. Right. However, the question then is, what if you don't have all this?
Mm.
Are you lost? Is there no hope? And that's where I disagree. I am also first generation lawyer, and even though I may not have a godfather in the sense that somebody from my family, maybe a judge or a lawyer or something like that, but I have had in the field many people who are godfathers and who have guided me and helped me in so many ways. I mean, I can't even claim any success as purely mine. So, are other people with more direct godfathers and helping them from earlier, would that be helpful to them? Absolutely. Because even though I didn't have direct godfathers and thereafter who helped me much later in my life, उनके साथ ही इतना हो गया अगर जितना बहुत हो गया तो अगर आपका स्टार्टिंग से होता तो कितना होगा 100%. I mean, these are things which what if I didn't know English? Would I still be or if my English wasn't as good, would I be as good a draftsperson when I draft a contract or if I draft any pleading? So these are all questions. In that sense, we are also privileged. Studied in an English school, studied in a good law school, right? So one can acknowledge that other people are more privileged than you, but when you really think about it, you are privileged than many more people also. So I guess,
agree.
Yeah. So just bask in your privilege and try to do your best. I mean, just try and do your
होना
best.
ना होना तो ऊपर वाले के हाथ, अपना 100% दे दो.
Correct.
बाकी तो
Gita
you leave
yeah,
all
but
to God's grace.
I used to. No, I'm not वैसे outright, very मैंने गीता सबसे directly पढ़ा नहीं. But this part I 100% agree with that. Just do what you're supposed to do first. Just do your thing. Everybody wants to become like a top lawyer, but like 25 साल that lawyer put in, you are just discounting that. And all the downs, more downs initially than ups.
Yeah.
Later on you can talk about ups and downs, but so many downs that person has gone through.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's you're right. It's a difficult profession, and having godfathers would really help. But all is not lost, and there is so much help out there. If you do your thing properly, nobody wants to help someone जो अपना ही खुद ठीक से नहीं कर रहा है.
सही बात है
ना. तो आप कुछ बेसिक तैयारी नहीं करके आते. जज भी आपको देखते हैं. Judge is not here to trouble lawyers, right? Many judges you will find are very supportive of lawyers, new lawyers they haven't seen before. If they argue well, they are supportive of such things. But give the judge something. Come prepared. Argue with sense. Persuade in a way where the judge is not thinking. Many lawyers would. Some lawyers, not many, in fact, no top lawyers like that. But some lawyers like to think that they can educate a judge over something. And that's what I'm saying. That even if a judge has come from another roster, the built-in experience of how the legal system works, how laws work, the judge can figure out a lot of things. A minor detail might be missing. You might help that judge read this section. And he can easily relate, अच्छा उस law में वैसा होता है, इस law में ऐसा होता है. घुमा फिरा के what is law? There is going to be some sanction. If you do something wrong, then law might take some action. Criminal law में अलग type का होता है, civil law में अलग type का होता है. But overall, if you think about it, there is a lot of similarity. There is reasonableness about the kind of action that will happen, and there's some proportionality. Those principles remain similar. So yeah, definitely a help, but it's not everything. And even if you don't have anything, I am telling you, just do your thing properly, do your best, and you will do it.
I mean, those are wise words, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're not following your own duty, your own dharam, you will not succeed in getting what you want. As long as you're on the right path of achieving what you want to do, you will achieve that.
I
But
think it starts becoming a little hazy, really. So I'm sorry to interject, but now earlier when I starting law, like I didn't want it like this had to be, and we guess out the typical suits type, you come like car. But as more time passes, you realize what is want. I mean that kind of wanting modifies. You realize that as a lawyer there are some cases you have to do for free. Not everything is about that. And is that really a successful lawyer? Yes, in many kind of ways, yes. But that idea of what you want also changes, and you may actually achieve all that karma. But over time, that may not be as important as you thought it would earlier. So I see a lot of lawyers that they might take a lot of money, and of course, money is important, but or fame is important. But you see a lot of people doing things beyond law, right? In so many fields. I mean, so all of our, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Ambedkar, all these guys were lawyers.
Even Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. I think Obama also. And his way of talking and Trump's way of talking.
You can see the difference. There's a stark difference.
To be fair, I find Trump more entertaining, a lot more fun.
Of course he is.
It's like reality TV. So
yeah. Talking about litigation versus competitive examinations like judiciary, UPSC. I have being a recruiter, I often get responses from students and lawyers who opt to study and prepare for these competitive exams only to not succeed in them and then look out for a career in litigation or a law firm. Tell me, what is that deciding point that now I've had 4 attempts, 5 attempts, and now I want to make that switch? How does one decide that? Or मतलब कैसे करता है वो?
I don't know the calculus that different people apply. But the calculus I apply, I thought of, and what I applied was I saw that so many intelligent people, much more intelligent than me and much more hardworking than me, they were just spending this, year drops, like you drop a year after college, just spending life, studying. I mean, a lawyer also does that, but there's a lot more action. You go to court every day, and you go to the police station, we travel around. But you get out of college and you're just sitting in a room and studying, and for how minuscule the chances are. That you might be very intelligent, but it's about luck in the paper, and after that also the interview. There are so many ways things can go wrong, and there are so many people and so less seats. Like the only thing that I thought to myself was, if I worked that hard in anything else, I mean, I'll be assured to reach somewhere. There, of course, if you become an IAS officer, I'm sure that it's a much more prestigious position, initially at least, than a lawyer. And a top lawyer, perhaps you could argue, is more prestigious, but the journey to become a top lawyer, not everybody reaches. So I mean, I personally think that those 4-5 years, if you just work hard at law, you will definitely become a good lawyer. But the chances of cracking the exam are so minuscule that I just thought it's not worth the risk for me. So I don't know what calculus other people apply, but my general thing is, please, in your 20s, which are your prime years, to work as hard as you can, work late, and you are much healthier than you will be. 20s में कचरा खाते थे. Now you got to try and eat. I'm not saying I eat healthy as much as I should, but try and eat healthy. Pretend to eat healthy at least, and pretend to eat on time. Right, stuff like that. But in your 20s, you can work so hard and become so much better at something, and just focusing on an exam for that, which the chances are so difficult. I normally suggest to people that don't appear for
put those years
put those years productively
into practice.
Yes, And at least for judiciary aspirants, I always say that there is a chance for the HJS, the Higher Judicial Services. So if especially you want a lawyer, you want a judge rather, who has practiced also, and who is well versed on this side of the bar also, who understands, and of course, most judges after some experience do understand what's happening and how the things behind the podium are. But yeah, I think you will have so much interesting experience to bring to the bench also.
Definitely.
After the NGS. So that, so that's my view on examination. If you ask me, we don't spend as less time as possible in just sitting and studying and actually apply the knowledge. You become a lawyer, you graduate as a lawyer. So, yeah.
Talking more about the dynamics of our profession. I mean, we are a close-knit community at the end of the day. There are, especially in the Delhi bar, we happen to know our colleagues, we happen to know our seniors, we happen to know our judges. When it comes to bar politics, there is the Bar Council of Delhi elections, there is the Delhi High Court Bar Association elections, there is Supreme Court Bar Association elections, and there is Cora elections. How does one...
The district court bars also.
The district court bars, of
there's
course.
NCLT bar.
There's NCLT, there's DRT, there's Saket Court, there's NDBA.
Yeah,
so basically, to have a voice in the profession, in the fraternity, and how does one actually involve himself into the active process of electioneering and helping out those voices that ultimately want a reform in the fraternity? And how important do you think it is?
So, first question is, how important is bar politics? Now, there's a general thing about any kind of politics. It's that if you don't participate, somebody else will.
Yeah.
And if you are bona fide and you fear other people are malified, you want yourself to participate and prevent those malified people from, getting into power.
Yeah.
So, I mean, any kind of politics, even general elections or anything, everything is important because you will be otherwise governed by those people if you don't participate in the process.
Correct.
So I think we are all participating even by ignoring it. When you ignore all this, you are participating in some way. Now, the general question is that, the general idea about how to go about it. I mean, the first thing is you want to make sure. So, what are we doing in bar politics? Or what do lawyers do? I mean, I'm not an active participant in the sense that I know what's going on and I do support people also, and I vote in the bar association where I vote. But the key part that I see is that why are we doing all this? Why should lawyers engage in politics? So there are 2-3 aspects that I see. So one, we need to ensure that justice is being dispensed in a manner where it is fair on the clients and where it is done in a manner where we have some say on how the benches are being run. In the sense that there is feedback which often goes to the benches as to how everything is being run, and there is some pushback from our side also, because effectively judges have the power of the law and lawyers, for example, the Supreme Court has stated very clearly that lawyers cannot strike. But you often see lawyers striking, sometimes not with good reason also, but on as intimidatory tactics to not appear before a particular court.
Recently, with the DHCPA stating that Saturdays are working, the DHCPA has put out a clarification that they're going to abstain from those.
Correct.
So that is pretty common. I mean, even in the district courts, the strikes are kind of inevitable only.
I mean, so like every other profession, there's only so far you can push people.
Yeah.
So strikes are a way to what can lawyers do? Like if a judge doesn't listen to you, what can you do? There's nothing you can really do, right?
Yeah. And
people say yes, you can file a complaint, and yes, you can file a complaint. But often the situations reach such a stage where strikes become necessary. So even though in principle, I'm not in support of strikes. I see how it works. And I feel the job of the bar politics is not only about strikes, there are a lot of practical things. It's the bar association which, for example, ensures that the Wi-Fi. So look at the Wi-Fi system of the Delhi High Court. It's fantastic. I think the bar association has either, I think, directly done it out of their budget, or I don't know. So after speaking with the court, but they've ensured that the Wi-Fi connectivity is fantastic. You can take video courts from anywhere. The Delhi High Court canteen. Because it's not like some of the other ones जहाँ शराब आती है खाने सकते हैं and the entire thing, the
infrastructure basically.
So infrastructure is the job of the government, but you affect that, like the clients' waiting areas also, and meeting areas between clients and lawyers, and even things such as court fees. How much should court fees be? There's feedback from the bar. What should be the pecuniary jurisdiction between different courts? So I mean, there is the good and the bad to everything, but you have to participate to focus on the good things. And I must commend that perhaps either directly the government is doing it or how they are managing it. But you see the way the different courts are being renovated. And, I mean,
I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's only the bar associations, but I'm sure that we in the bar can push for things to happen.
Talking about, not having a godfather, it is actually very important. It becomes actually very important for the first generation lawyers to go out there and network. Because if you don't network, there are no people who you're going to talk to. But how do you begin networking? For someone who's come out from a different law school, who's just got a job in Delhi, who's not from Delhi, who's still adjusting to the Delhi environment, and who wants to make it big in the Supreme Court or in the High Court for that matter, and he doesn't know anyone. He's completely new. How do you begin that first step of networking?
So, I'm not so sure that I'm not sure how networking really works, because I know there are these professional networks like BNI and all, which I'm not a member of it, but I've heard about these. And but I mean, I think it's very core. What is networking? I mean, it's meeting people and getting along with them.
Striking a conversation.
Yeah, getting along with them, and so I think just being a decent person, and eventually.
But you have that inhibition in the beginning of approaching someone. How do you go past that inhibition and strike that first conversation?
Usually my experience has been that you should be fair. Often the best friends you end up making are people with against whom you've done cases.
That is a good point.
So you're waiting in court and you're like, aaj matter aayega nahi aayega, and your matter is just about to come, but the matter before your arguments start, and those arguments go on for an hour and a half, so you end up talking. And then generally, just be friendly with the other side, and a lot of my friends are like that. And I wouldn't call it networking, they're my friends. But I guess now when I really think of it, my network is mostly my friends. So if you call it that, then yeah. So one way of networking perhaps would be to meet people who are going to get talking with people.
And now I think with these WhatsApp groups, a lot of networking opportunities come from there also.
That's proper networking. In fact, on WhatsApp groups, you can easily
reach out for a local
so if you need like somebody in Tamil Nadu, or people might need somebody in Delhi, or even within Delhi, you need someone, let's say,
in Saket at that particular
exactly. Day. So I mean, definitely, as they say for lawyers, your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
So if you can tell clients you can get work done in Gujarat or somewhere else also, that's 100. I mean, absolutely.
To your credit.
So is networking important? Yeah, well, absolutely. The best, law firms also have networks spread throughout the world. If like a US client asks them to file some case in India, they'll have a setting, like some kind of a JV or some kind of an agreement with another law firm. And I think there are a couple of law firms nowadays which are directly also linked in some manner through their brand to foreign law firms, and they get referred work from abroad. So I mean, definitely, networks are really important. And WhatsApp groups I've also found efficient in.
And the important thing is just to make that first step. I mean, it's tough for someone who's starting out, but you have to overcome your inhibitions and fear of talking to people, to your seniors, to someone you don't know. But once you do that, you'll understand that our profession is very welcoming. They will not be intimidating. They will always welcome you. They will always talk to you in a warm manner. So I think it's important that once you go out there, especially in litigation, I mean, if you want to build a profession in litigation, you have to go out there and talk to people. Moving on to benchmarks to be set for continuation in law practice. So let's say a person must have X number of clients, a person's income must be X in the number of years. How do you define that, and should we even define that in a profession such as litigation? Because there are days when there is no work, and then there'll be some days where you'll get a flood of work coming your way. So should the benchmarks actually be there for a 30-year-old? He should have 15 lakhs in a year with 50 clients, or someone in their 40s should have 1 crore in his bank account with 100 clients. How does that work?
So to answer the first part, that's about benchmarking. Now, I have no benchmark for clients or money, but I definitely have a benchmark for knowledge. So, you test yourself, and if let's say at the age of 30, after working in 7 years in your area of law, be it tax or criminal or some such area, IP, if you don't know, let's say, the basic statute, or you don't know some leading case law, or you still don't understand basic concepts, then it's difficult, right? There's no exact benchmark here. This is not mathematics. So law is at the end of social science. And there's also an interesting thing in law is that for 20 years you could be a below average lawyer, and that you would do one case which could completely change your fortune, right? But all that is consequential. That's a consequence of doing that big case. But those 20 years that you were below average, as per other people, you were building up your knowledge.
Yeah.
So the benchmark for me is knowledge. How much do I know? How many different provisions? How many different sections? And how many different, if you come to me with people come to you with varied problems. So if you come to me with a problem such as that you need to recover money in a contract, that is one kind of problem. If you need some insolvency, that's another kind of problem. So I benchmark myself on knowledge, and then I just fingers crossed that money comes. I don't have a strategy there, but I feel that if you keep on building your knowledge, आप अपना काम करते रहो और hope for the best.
So tell me something. When we were interning back in law school, I remember working in law firms till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the night, and then waking up the next morning and then reporting to court at 10 o'clock. Do you think with the evolution of AI and tech, the character of requiring long working hours would somehow come to an end, or there will be still working hours when you're burning the midnight oil?
So, Raghu, that's a great question. It's a great question, and one thing I just want to clarify. When you said we were interning back in law school, I didn't do a single internship in law school.
You didn't do a single internship?
I didn't do a single internship in law school. So let me just clarify that. So you may have worked in a law firm till 3 a.m. I did not very right till 3 a.m. I used to go back to Hon'ble and play football on the beach with my friends. That's what I used to wake up.
Lovely.
And or read a book and all. And my mom used to ask me, "Kuch karna hai? Zindagi nahi aane." So I was like, "Maa, zindagi mein kaam nahi karna." So we football khel leta hai. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for that because अब वो सब छूट गया. I wish also, and I cannot play because I've seen a couple of people get seriously spared to gaya. So you sit out of 4 months, you won't go to court. So all those are serious things. So coming back to interning, AI and the impact of AI generally on interns, and to a deeper question that you've asked about economics, it's actually an economics question, that would the advent of AI result in lesser working hours. So let me relate that with travel, right? So earlier travel was very slow. Basically, the fastest you could go anywhere till 1880s was the fastest a horse could go. So if you were to go from here to Bombay, for example, on a horse and on a buggy, it might take a month and a half, even more. I don't know how much it would take. But it was the advent of trains which led to reduction in time. And after trains, obviously it was planes. And I'm not talking about shipping routes, but I'm talking about overland routes. So today we have planes, we can reach from Bombay to Delhi in 2 hours. Right, we're getting the bullet train also soon. The question now I have is that, have you more time in your life or have you less? Because a month and a half that would have taken you to travel to Bombay is now down to 3 hours. Earlier, to send a letter would take a week, but today you can just text people. So are you communicating, or do you have more time or do you have less time? And to even break it down even further, the economics question, that's how surplus comes, is that if there were 100 farmers indulging in subsistence farming, and let's say they made 100 kilos of wheat, every day, right? And then you discovered the iron plow, so they were using the wooden plow, and they were using the iron plow and their efficiency doubled. That means you could continue to create 100 kilos of grain, but with 50 people, if they continue to work 8 hours. Or you could employ those 100 people, but they would only have to work 4 hours. That's what effectively would happen, as your efficiency would have increased.
Yeah.
And now imagine if you get a tractor with the modern technology. Now the question is, what 100 farmers could do, one tractor could do. Right? So now, when we go to a farm, do we see a farmer sitting free? Everybody's super busy, right? And what happens in reality is that out of 100 farmers, 50 farmers are fired, removed from workforce, whatever. 50 farmers continue farming, and the surplus they create, because there's not enough food for other 50 people. Those 50 people become carpenters, lawyers, doctors, and we don't produce our own clothes or shoes or anything. We just provide a service, an intellectual service. So it's been the way of the world for the past 5,000 years, 7,000 years of our civilization, where efficiency has increased. In the past 50-100 years, efficiency has increased at a much faster rate than perhaps over the last 4,000-5,000 years before that. But increase in efficiency has not meant greater time availability. So the question is, will AI make your workday 6 hours a day? So then I asked people when they moved from typewriter to computer, how much time did they save? And actually people will tell you that in 1980s, when we were on typewriters, lawyers had much more time. When there were no trains and you would take 1.5 months to travel from Delhi to Bombay, if you ever did, most people didn't travel at that time, then people would have much more time at their hands than today. And it's my opinion, it's my view, it may not actually happen, I don't know. But I think with AI coming in, the work in law is going to explode. Why? Because think of it, if you ordered something from Blinkit right now for 200 rupees and it didn't come right, and you were like, oh, मैं case करूँगा. But then somebody will tell you, was 200 रुपए के लिए what case are you going to do? Right? Now I tell you, it was not 200 रुपए, it was 2000. Would you do a case? It's नहीं यार 2000 के लिए अभी. What if it was 20,000? Would you do it for 20,000? Now you're thinking, I might. What if it was 2 lakh? Now you're seriously thinking.
Yeah.
And it was 20 lakh, 100%. और 2 करोड़ का होता तो भाई इनसे केस करो immediately. So with the coming in of AI and with everything becoming more efficient, there might be a situation where 2 लाख की केस में भी आप कर सकते हो, because it will become much more efficient for a lawyer. जो पहले से at the end lawyer क्या करता है, जो cases करता है उससे पैसे उससे चलना चाहिए. अगर उसको 40 केस कर सकता है और उसके साल का खर्चा लेट्स से 40 रुपए, काफी खर्चे होता है, बट ईज ऑफ कन्विंस अगर 40 रुपए का या लेट्स से 400 रुपए है ना, तो उसको हर केस से एटलीस्ट ऑन एवरेज 10 रुपए कमाना। बट अगर वो इतना हाइपर एफिशिएंट बन जाता है कि वो 40 केस की जगह वो 80 केस कर सकता है, तो अब वो हर क्लाइंट से अगर 5 रुपए भी लेता है 10 रुपए की जगह, तो ज्यादा केसेस कर सकता है एट अ चीपर प्राइस, राइट? एंड आई थिंक विद एआई कमिंग इन, पीपल जो केसेस होते थे 2 लाख का छोड़ दे, 1 केस का, आई थिंक इवन दैट इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज, राइट? आई थिंक द नंबर ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, बिकॉज़ पहले कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और होगा सो मच ऑफ वर्क, there's no proper contract, people just put emails, right? But now if you can have a proper contract made, like a lawyer can make like a, in fact you can, with AI you can keep, let's say you start drafting contracts regularly for a client, so after 5-7 contracts the AI will start picking up, it will start reading your boilerplate clauses. So I personally think AI is a net positive for clients, because even within the same case the kind of analysis is going to get sharper. But if interns and juniors are thinking, and many people are saying that juniors will be unemployed, etc., I completely disagree. Those juniors become more efficient, their research becomes better, and now we start demanding higher quality of research. If people are just searching on Google and all, I'm like, listen, Google is not good enough, right? Did you try searching it on a good AI? Right? In fact, SCC and all these people are launching their own search AI things. Why? To make your search more efficient. So now we are seeing जो केस आपको 3 दिन में मिलता था, मुझे 3 घंटे में चाहिए, क्योंकि AI भी नहीं यूज कर रहे आप, right? So do I think all this doom and gloom about juniors? I don't. What I 100% think is that if you're not adapting to the technology, you will get left behind. Just like a lawyer जो आप बोले नहीं, मैं तो टाइपराइटर पे ही काम करूंगा, मैं तो यूज ही नहीं करूंगा गूगल सर्च और मनुपत्र यूज ही नहीं करूंगा, मैं अभी जाके लाइब्रेरी में ढूंढ के निकालूंगा, that lawyer is going to get left behind. Like the entire Delhi High Court structure today is that it's completely e-filing. So if you cannot operate a PDF, then if you cannot type things out on Word, then how are you going to litigate? There is no concept anymore of I mean, yes, you can print everything out, then scan it, and then upload it. You can do all that. But a lot of documents that we read are digital first, and thereafter we print. We don't print them and make them digital.
Right.
And print them only if the court so requires. Sometimes the courts, in non-trial proceedings, you may not need to file the digital physical copy.
Moving on to the final question, Utkarsh, and so far this has been a very insightful podcast. What is your key takeaways, advice, pointers for youngsters who are just starting in the profession? I mean, they have a huge advantage of what we didn't have when we were starting off, which is again AI. So, how can they make the most of it and actually capitalize that to make something, useful and productive and make a strenuous career in litigation?
I think the most important thing that people should realize, youngsters, hey, when I'm young,
so
you may be younger than me, but but all the jokes apart, for youngsters, I have one advice. It's whatever you do, and by the way, I try to practice what I preach. I may not necessarily practice everything I preach, right? So take this with a pinch of salt. I try, I'm not good at everything, but this advice may be relevant. It's that whatever you do, you should try to do it as well as you can. मतलब अगर झाड़ू भी मार रहे हो तो कोशिश करो दुनिया का बेस्ट झाड़ू मारो, राइट? तो दिस अप्लाइज तो लॉ में कुछ भी कर, यू में थिंक अरे ये क्या वैसे सब काम कर रहा है, तो वो भी अगर कर रहे हो तो हैव दैट पैशन फॉर एक्सीलेंस, अटेंशन टू डिटेल, it's not good enough. It's a AI से बना के दे दिया, it's good enough. Nothing is good enough. You have to set your standards. You have to set standards about कितना deep research करना है, किस type के judgment चाहिए, किस detail के judgment चाहिए. So so I mean that is one advice to youngsters. The second advice is that you should keep in mind that many of us have been privileged by, from wherever we come, even if we may not have godfather or anything. We should try our best to, give back is a very strong word, but it's our duty to, let's say, try and help out and
I agree.
educate our interns and set higher standards for them in a work culture, work ethic. So having a good work ethic, and looking up to the right kind of people, and just staying at it, just staying focused is the key part, because this Instagram and YouTube reels and whatever, they have just made our attention span so short. Like, you don't read a judgment properly.
Yeah.
You don't read the case properly. And just a second, before I say all this, practice what I teach, sometimes even I also miss out on details, right? I'm prone to errors all the time. But I try. I'm a try. I try to keep my standards high. And you should also try as much as you can to be excellent. Like, वो एक draft दिया है, वो एक draft में जान लगा दो. कोशिश करो, you do your best. And धीरे धीरे you will see कि जो पहले जान लगा कि इस क्वालिटी का बंदा था 10 घंटे में, आज वो उसी क्वालिटी का बनेगा 8 घंटे में, और अगर करते करते उसी क्वालिटी का बनेगा 5 घंटे में. तो अपनी क्वालिटी हायर है काम की, रिसर्च और पर्टिकुलर. So that's my advice. Be persevering and try and maintain excellence.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that we come to the end of this podcast. Thank you so much, Utkarsh, for being here. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. For me too. Thanks.